Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And you know what time it is, right? You know what time it is? Hashtag Clownfish was right time.
Oh, I was very confused. Okay, I was gonna say, am I supposed to say Adventure Time? I was confused.
Well, yeah, that does kind of go along with what we're talking about, right? We're going to talk about the animation industry being strapped for cash. We're going to talk about independent animation being on the rise. And
like we said.
What? And we're going to talk about how a lot of animators are losing their jobs, getting laid off. It's not good, right?
No.
I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but like when we've spent the last 2 years
At least.
being lied about, we had people over on Reddit lying about us, people making videos lying about us and saying that things were fantastic in the animation industry, and these people themselves are no longer working in the animation industry. Maybe we're not lying. I'm just saying. So it's a little irritating, but here we go. This comes from Variety, which is a verified industry publication, saying the animation industry is strapped for cash and that people are going to have to find outside sources to bankroll animated projects because the studios aren't paying for it like they used to. Oh,
No.
my God.
Yeah, I mean, even K-pop Demon Hunters, like Sony kind of just did a deal with Netflix to get them a bunch of stuff cheaper. And that was one of the ones that got thrown in.
Yeah.
You know, Netflix wasn't spending a whole lot of money, and Sony didn't want to spend a whole lot of money either.
Yeah, that's just it. They don't want to spend the money. Animation is expensive. It's time consuming. And honestly, something that you greenlight today, if it takes 2 or 3 years for it to come out, it may not be in vogue anymore by the time it comes out. And beyond that, a lot of animation was greenlit for cable and network television and for kids. And guess what? Kids
I was going to say for adults, but yeah.
Well, that's yeah. We're going to talk about that too, because this is really pissing me off. Not Rebecca Sugar pissing me off, but the fact that 10 fucking years after Steven Universe comes out, I think it's been longer than 10 years. Everybody's like, well, not everybody, right wing blogs that don't pay attention normally to any of this stuff. Did you know that the cartoons on Cartoon Network were gay, and they were gay for a really long time?
Yeah.
What? No.
I never heard it. I don't know what they're talking about. Not that we
Oh
have
my
videos talking
God.
about it or anything, but you know.
It's not like we haven't done freaking hundreds of videos. And like, look, we don't attack Steven. We use Steven Universe, or I use Steven Universe in the thumbnails to represent the entertainment industry because he's made some really ugly ass faces. But yeah, all the cartoons on network TV, yeah, it was all Tumblr fan fiction.
Yeah,
right?
they were actually literally hiring Tumblr people and their friends.
Yes.
So, yeah.
See also Shira, but no, I just
Nura, yeah.
I just think it's so funny. They're like digging up old interviews and they're like, and there it is. Oh my God, guys, they were trying to sneak queerness in the Steven Universe. I'm like, sneak it? There's no sneaking.
It was in your face.
It was literally like there was a scene where the gems were fusing and freaking, I think it was Pearl was going in between Garnet's legs and shit. And I'm like, that's on kids' TV. I'm like, there's no sneaking going on. It was.
Yeah, I mean, and She-Ra too. I mean, like they literally every character was suddenly assigned a letter of the alphabet.
I know, right?
Some kind of identity politics. Yeah, like, but yes, we just didn't know that it was happening.
It's like, guys, every one of us has a letter, and when we combine together instead of forming Captain Power, we're gonna make the flag. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. So it was very obvious, but yeah. So kind of end stage network cartoons were barely disguised adult fan fictions.
I mean,
supposedly
Prom and everyone.
Prom,
but
yeah.
It was, you know, what, Gay Prom, Grom or whatever, and everyone.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was all Tumblr shit. And this is all stuff that, because we came from webcomics, this is all stuff that we saw in webcomics.
Oh yeah.
Like 5 or 8 years before it made its way onto network television. And then it just crashed and burned and whatever. Anyway, let's talk about this. So now here we are, 5 years after Netflix said that everything was going to animation. And now it's not, apparently. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So we got a couple of articles here, and we're just going to...
I just want to say real quick, you said a few years after they said everything was going to animation. Yeah, during the pandemic, I remember the pandemic was almost over, and they were going and greenlighting all these animated shows because animation could still be produced during the pandemic. But at that time, I remember we did a video, and I remember distinctly even saying to you, either during the video or after the video, I can't remember which because it's been a while, but I do remember saying specifically, I don't understand why they're greenlighting this stuff now because the pandemic's almost over and people are going to be going back to work, so it's not going to matter. Well, and that's exactly what happened.
People thought that they were going to be locked in their houses for years. Actually, what people thought was going to happen incorrectly is that they were going to be able to work at home forever, that the pandemic was going to, reshuffle the deck. And all that happened was people realized like, yeah, hey, we let people work from home. Half of them are going to fluff off. Mm-hmm. And, or it was like, hey, you're out of the office and there's like zero difference. You're still not working. So, we're just going to get rid of you. But they built like a whole animation campus and everything at Netflix. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. But what they're doing now, it seems like, is they're doing co-productions, like they're doing the Mitchells versus Machines.
Right. Yeah, that's Netflix and Sony again. And that's what they're doing a lot of,
Yeah, they're letting other people bankroll it, and then they're just putting it on Netflix. Honestly, if Disney were smarter, it might have benefited them to just put their shit on Netflix. But, they're supposedly making money on.
Disney wants to own everything and be in charge of everything, so that's why.
Everything the white
Bob
touches.
Iger thinks he's in charge of everything.
Anyway, Variety. The animation industry is strapped for cash. What's next? To reach audiences migrating online, producers must develop new financing and distribution models beyond traditional broadcaster support.
So you can't just go sit there and be hired at the cartoon factory anymore and just sit there and it constantly just going to be generated and you have a secure job.
A market, oh my God, we could have written this article. A market correction in the U.S., combined with a commissioning landscape that has yet to return to pre-strike levels.
And it likely never, I was going to say, and it
and
won't.
Likely
and
never will.
I read the next part. I was like, oh, no, there it is.
Has reverberated across the globe, triggering contraction and uncertainty within an industry that had spent years expanding to meet once insatiable streamer demand. All of the things that we have said all in one paragraph. Imagine that. But if it's coming from Variety, it's gospel. If it's coming from us, it's lies.
Coming from Variety, months and months and months late, years late, but okay.
Years late. Ironically, the sector's diverse ecosystem has never been more aligned in diagnosing the problem and pointing toward a solution. Did a human write this? The consensus
Probably not.
The consensus is clear. Animation needs stronger backing. The open question is where that support will come from. Traditional broadcasters and streamers are cutting back on their investments, says Catel France of Media One Kids and Family. I have no idea. There's a significant gap between where animation is watched and how it is financed, and no clear solution for bridging that gap as of yet. Just say nobody wants to fucking pay for it. Nobody wants to pay for this.
They want all these places to just up and pay for it so they could just have a job to crank out cartoons, and there's no money being made. They're not going to pay for it.
There's no clear solution for bridging that gap as of yet. This creates challenging times for both producers and creators, but also offers an opportunity to rethink and reinvent the entire model.
Are you kidding me right now?
Oh,
I just want to hit something.
Fuck.
Oh my God. And here's the thing, like I said before, we told you, when they saw this coming, we're like, your guaranteed jobs probably aren't going to be there. Plus the whole union situation, which is a big part of why you're not being financed either, because you cost too damn much. And we said you might be more nimble if you started your own thing and started your own studio with some of your friends and you're independent, so you could be more cost effective, and you might be a solution for studios who are looking for a more cost effective way to do animation. And we said that.
Yes. And again, it makes it hard for a studio to look you in the eye and not laugh in your face when you say, hey, I need $15 million to do this series or whatever. And they're like, yeah, hey, that cat movie made with Blender only cost $3 million and it won an Academy Award. So, what else you got?
I was like, 15 million is kind of cheap, but yeah.
That's kind of cheap. But you know what I'm saying? But, well, no, because it'd be for like a Netflix season, which would be like 3 episodes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, no, I mean, it's, yeah. This isn't a contraction. It's a transformation, says investment consultant and act and play founder. I don't even know who these people are. Yusuf Safroy, pointing to AI and France's political uncertainty as being particularly disruptive. Salaries keep rising.
That's what you said.
Studios will need to cut production expenses to reinvent the system. Alternative financing will also be essential, including revising CNC co-production rules to loosen thresholds and encourage international partnerships. That means they're going to outsource, especially with Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to get much better for them in the conditions over there for animation.
No.
That's the downside.
So the goal isn't to move work abroad, but more to balance local employment with access to new funding, and most of all, to restart paused projects. We need low overhead and high flexibility. The companies that are surviving can scale from 50 to 300 people on a case-by-case basis.
Like I said, go start your own thing with your friends, and then you can offer a better price, bring people in as you need. You can be a more competitive, studio as far as price is concerned, and that studios will be hiring you. And that's what we told you.
Yep.
For fuck's sake. I can't even. I literally want to throw a chair right now.
They said that the budgets are tightening and you basically need to prove yourself elsewhere to get the green light. They said the message was clear. Titles like the tune Alien Dunk and the kids' comic adaptation Vampirette and Me viewed pre-existing buy-in as the key to juice sales. Basically, you got to have something that has a track record, and this is kind of look at like Has Been Hotel and so many of these other indie animation. We're going to talk about that because he said that's probably the future of it. But you got to
get down to that, because this is like, it goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
we
they're
have
just
to
talking.
make this a future. Blah,
there,
blah, blah.
there are challenges, and here we go. YouTube now. Oh my God, guys, we told you. What the? Oh, gee, boo. Yeah, so now they're taking, and we talked about this. They're taking all the cartoons over to YouTube now because we said, where are the kids? Where are the kids at?
I told you the Power Rangers show, they're bringing it to YouTube.
YouTube.
Because Hollywood's trying to cash in on YouTube now, which we've been saying.
YouTube Kids took pride of place at this year's MIP Junior. Yeah, basically kids are watching YouTube now. They're watching TikTok. They're not watching Disney Channel. They're not watching Nickelodeon. And Cartoon Network is about dead. They said, yeah, kids are leading the digital shift. For studios, that shift presents a challenge. Viewers are moving online, often to platforms that don't provide traditional broadcaster pre-sales or commissions. Translation:
you have to perform and get the views to get the money.
You're not going to get your millions of dollars up front to make your fan fiction.
You have to prove that people will watch it and it's worth money for them to put money into it.
To meet them, production outfits must find new ways to finance and deliver content directly to digital spaces on a budget. So here, we're going to go this. This is Canada. And now I'm hearing from people in the industry.
You don't know anybody in the industry. You just make shit up.
Oh, yeah, I just make shit up, right? Because Clownfish lies. They don't tell us what. You go out to, I issue you a challenge. Go out to Reddit. Go out to the animation career subreddit. There are actually a couple of different ones out there. Go out there and read the stories. They're all depressing as fuck because nobody can find a job because the jobs aren't there. The people that are getting working in animation right now are the people like Vivzy Pop. Sorry, there's only one of her. That did it on their own first, and then they got the financing later.
Well, that's what I've been telling people. Like, and you have other people that were big players in the industry saying the same thing we were saying after we said it. People were sharing our videos saying, "Oh yeah, they have good points," and then they're immediately attacked for it. And it's like you're just happy that we got laid off. It's like, no, we were trying to warn you, so you avoided this. Like, we were like telling you, hey, your ship's sinking, your ship's sinking, your ship's sinking. You might want to get off the ship and go to another boat because your ship's sinking. And then your ship sinks, then you're mad at us. Like, why didn't you tell me my ship was sinking? And it's like, we told you the whole time. But
they don't want to
hear it. Us.
They don't want to hear it. They're like, oh, I went to school for animation, so as soon as I get out of school, I'm going to get a job and I'm going to work there forever, and I'm going to be I'm going to get six figures to make cartoons, and I can finally make my furry Tumblr fanfic a reality with Glom or Glam or Grom or whatever the fuck they call it, and the whole lot of scissoring and shit going on. I can do that, and some
people are like, hey, sounds like a good time.
Yeah, and people are probably like, hey, well, what are kids going to think of this? Kids? What do you mean, kids? No, kids aren't going to watch this. I'm not making it for kids.
We want the kids to watch it because then we'll get funding.
Oh, my God. That's how they get the funding. I'm telling you, that's what they did. That's this whole thing. Just to take it back to the Steven Universe quandary. This whole thing was about getting your representation, getting your fanfic to get funded. So what you did is you disguised it as a kid's show. And that's what a lot of these people did, is they disguise this stuff as a kid's show, but it clearly is not. It's clearly for
Well,
an
a lot
older
of parents
audience.
are like, if it's on Cartoon Network or different places, it's probably safe for my kids to watch that, actually watching it. And
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying the shows are all bad. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you have to, as a parent, watch what your kids are watching to see if it's something that you're okay with.
And that was my thing. Like when we talked about the cartoon fiasco a couple of weeks ago, when right wingers finally realized that there was gay stuff in cartoons. Like, where have you been? It was kind of like, hey, this is on you too, because you're not watching what your kids are watching, and you're just plopping them in front of Netflix and saying, here, watch whatever. And this is what happens. And then 10 years later, you get mad about it.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. But this is anyway, we've heard that people are getting laid off in Canada, that people have actually gotten laid off that were associated with Paramount, Nickelodeon. It just hasn't been announced yet. They're canceling shows already. So
yes.
this is, Canadian. It's the Fulcrum, the University of Ottawa's independent student news outlet. Okay, so student
expect
paper.
announcements for some of these shows.
Yes.
Some of them you'd be surprised by. Anyway.
Some of them I thought were more successful, but they might just be too expensive.
That's what I'm thinking. There's some big ones in there. So anyway.
So they go on to some different stuff, but they're basically just talking about how, adult animation has to find different ways to get funding. Western animation, Western entertainment studios, networks, and streaming platforms prefer investing in ventures that guarantee a profit, meaning that the media in question should not delve into super divisive themes. What? As they require a more nuanced approach in their consumption.
Yeah, because you want the biggest audience you can get. So
Yes.
you want to appeal to the greatest common denominators and not the outliers.
So they're actually saying that one of the biggest challenges now is, one, you have to prove, again, guaranteed return on investment. So you have to prove that people are actually going to watch and support your stuff, and you do that by basically doing it yourself, right?
Plus, you can remain ownership over your stuff.
Yeah, people don't realize Rebecca Sugar, she doesn't own Steven Universe. She created it. Steven's actually based on her brother. She doesn't own it. Cartoon Network could reboot it. As I understand it, they could reboot it tomorrow without her, and there's not a damn thing she can do about it.
And this is a story we've heard and talked about time and time again.
Powerpuff Girls. See also Powerpuff Girls.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're basically saying, and you also probably want to stay away from heavy politics now, because that's kind of not getting funded either. Oh my God, guys. And if they're going over, I'm going to be honest, if they're going overseas to get funding and they're going to the Middle East to get funding, guess what? Your gay Tumblr fanfic probably isn't going to get any money. I'm just saying. So yeah, things are changing. Just wanted to get it in there that, we weren't lying out of our ass. We were right.
Yeah, we were just trying to warn people. And
just trying to warn people. That's it.
So, here's what it is. We told you.
Day that ends in Y. We're 2 years after the fact. Everybody's like, oh shit, Clownfish was right.
You can send apologies to.
We will never get apologies for anything.
No.
Ever. All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.